All right, this is Brenda and Stacy with Let's Wine with Brenda and Stacy, and we're here for a Mother's Day episode since Mother's Day is May 10th, this Sunday coming up. How do you feel about that, Stacy?
I'm excited. I think Mother's Day is well deserved.
It is.
I mean, we've earned that. Our mothers have earned that, our grandmothers, our aunts. I just feel like any woman in your life who's ever given something to your life deserves gratitude.
Yes.
And
I agree with
appreciation. Love and women being women. Only we can understand this. So this should be more like a Woman's Day to all the women who have ever given anything to another person.
I would say even men too, because some men have to play the role as mother and father.
Yeah.
So if they're standing in, we salute you too, because it's not an easy job.
It's not. Parenting is hard. I mean, that's one of the things that I would tell you I have raised my kids believing. They were hard.
You make it sound like...
I know, like it was criminal. It's not that it's criminal. It's just, it was hard. And I want young moms to know this. We see them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I see the young moms. I see what they go through, and I appreciate them. Even if the whole society is shit on them, I still think, carry on, ladies. You'll have to.
Right.
I mean, because now things are so far out of control that it's unbelievable.
I believe that, yes.
And the other things I used to feel like as a mom, a parent and a teacher could almost like team up and be, as far as education goes, with these children, because moms are in charge of that. And I just feel like I've heard from teachers that parents,
They've checked out.
So moms, you can't check out. These children are our future. Literally.
Right. Again, I go back to the technology for some reason.
Yeah. Oh,
I think I
definitely.
said it in another episode when Curry and I had little Nessa and we went to the mall, all the parents had checked out. I just don't get it.
As scary as being a mom is, don't have children if you don't want to mother them. I would just like put that out in the universe.
Do you think age has anything to do with it? Well, the only reason I'm saying that, and it's not everybody. A gentleman I used to work with talked about how he noticed that parents over 40 had checked out. He mentioned going to soccer games and that you could look around and see these parents over 40 just letting the kids do whatever. They're reading papers or phones or whatever they're doing. And I don't know. There are parents that waited later, I think, to have children and that they're just not as involved.
I think parents who wait to be older parents have made a decision, though.
You'd think.
We didn't go, I'm going into this to get pregnant today. That was not our thoughts.
I think the kids just make them tired.
But I respect older parents who, they already have their shit together.
And who actually parent.
Yeah, their kids well taken care of. They have the means. They have their life in order. Like when we've talked about when we were younger and we were parenting, our lives were pretty much chaotic. And then we were trying to make this kid fit into
everything. We did it.
But we did it.
I think I only say that because I did have an older mother. And I wasn't happy about it like when I was a teenager. Of course, I outgrew it as I got older, but I don't know. I didn't like the fact that my mother was the age of all my friends' grandparents. I mean, I just wasn't feeling it then, but, as I got older, it didn't matter so much. And things don't. As you get older, you're able to it clicks. It starts clicking.
Yeah. I think as mothers, the most important thing that we want for our children is for them to evolve.
Right.
And move on. Grow up.
Right, because someday we're going to be the matriarch. I've become that, and that's hard on me. But, I didn't have a complete breakdown over it where I see some people, they're like, well, everything just went to shit after I lost my mom. I've lost my mom, my dad, my husband. It's just I've become the matriarch of the family, and I didn't ask for it. As adults, they still come to me,
of course.
Wanting opinions. It might be a wrong opinion.
Yeah.
And, of course, they're going to do what they want anyway, and they should.
Absolutely.
They're adults. They can do what they want. They can come and go and do as they please.
Absolutely. I'm ecstatic. I've lived my life long enough for my adult child to tell me I'm a grown man. And I will do what I want. I am, it was not the one you think who told me that. So.
That's funny.
I mean, it took me back for a minute, and I felt like I'd been shot in the heart.
Oh,
I know. Like, oh my God, I'm not in charge of this. And then it made me proud. Like, yeah, I raised a man who can tell his mother, you're not in charge of me. And I'm doing fine. Yes, you are.
Your boys are doing fine.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, as a parent, I just need to go, yay, I did it. And they're fine and they're doing their thing. And of course, I would never not be here if they needed anything. You know, if one of them called me, I skipped my knee and I need a Band-Aid, I would drive 45 minutes to, 12 hours to both of them. And, you need me, you need me. I'm here. But they don't need me to survive.
When you were little, what kind of gifts did you give your mother for Mother's Day?
I mean, I'm sure a lot of handmade stuff, and it used to be a school activity.
Right. I got placemats and all kinds of stuff up there.
Yeah, activity. I don't even know if these children do this anymore. I don't.
It's kind of sad.
It is kind of sad.
I wrote the poems, made the cards, that kind of thing.
Draw, write letters. Because nobody's taking you shopping to spend, $1.29 on a card at Hallmark. Now they're like $18.99 for a card.
I remember when I was a teenager and I had one of my first jobs. I had my own money and I bought my mother a coffee maker thinking that's what she wanted, and she didn't. She was an instant coffee, and I think that's where I got it from. I like being able to control, like, if I want more or less, or I don't want to waste any, so I got her a coffee maker. She never used it. Biggest mistake of my life.
Well, I wouldn't say the biggest.
Well, with Mother's Day gifts, put it that way.
Okay.
Well, I have a couple questions for you just for fun.
Okay,
See if you
let's
know
go.
any of these. How old do you think the oldest mother ever was to give birth?
Oh, to give birth.
To give birth. How old do you think the oldest is?
Yeah, I would say somewhere in the 50s.
And it wasn't all that long ago. It was 2019. 74.
Stop.
74, but with the help of IVF. Why would you want to? There was also another person in Berlin in 2025 that was 66. IVF.
IVF.
10th child. That there alone, that's another topic. But there are some natural births. How do you think the oldest natural birth is?
50s.
67. And that was in 2019. That's supposed to be natural, and she evidently ovulated after her last period. There was still an ovulation going on.
Well, I
Supposedly it was natural. I know. I'll do some more reading on that because of my curiosity.
I can't say I have a problem with IVF for people who are young and they're struggling to have a child and they need that. For these old, we'll say old because we can call ourselves old now. For these old women to use IVF to have children, I disagree.
And IVF is one of those things where because I was adopted, it's one of those things like, go adopt one. There's so many children without homes.
Well, I mean, see, I wasn't thinking about that way, but you're exactly right.
I don't know. It makes me think, why bring more into the world? There's evidently a reason. I want to believe there's a reason for everything.
Do you feel anything with your adoptive mother? Anything?
No.
Nothing.
Nothing.
You just have no...
No, because I was only 2 days old.
You have no will, drive, questions.
Not at this age. When I was younger, I always wanted to see a picture of her. I just wanted to know if she was pretty. For some reason, that always kind of stuck out. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I had my parents, and they're gone now. And now at this age, I'm not looking for somebody to mother me, that's for sure.
You can never say, because I wasn't good enough. You were 2 days old.
Right.
It's not like you were 10 and she said, fuck this is hard, I'm not doing it.
I know. It wasn't creating havoc.
Yeah. You were 2 days old. So she had already pre-made, like this decision was made while you were in the womb.
Right.
To me, that screams there was something going on in her life that was a choice.
Right.
A lot of people had to make decisions for that to happen.
Right.
I would just like to know what the headspace was.
There's no telling.
And you don't care.
I don't care.
All right.
I know, I really don't care. That's my oldest daughter. I'll call her out. Camille, she's the one that is, looking for family, primarily health reasons. I think that's a big deal. But I've noticed she's put some cousins and things that we found on Ancestry on her Facebook and has talked to some people. And I'll let her handle it.
You can't blame her for wanting...
Be curious. I think when I put it in perspective, health-wise, it's very strange to me to think that Camille Curry and then Camille's children, Lily and Lark, are the only blood relatives I know of on the planet. Aside from whatever Ancestry's kind of plugged in for like third, fourth, fifth cousins.
Yeah.
It's just, as far as close to me in my little network, I only have 4 relatives.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Christina, I wish you were blood related.
Well, I don't have many more than you. I mean, my family's tiny.
Tiny, yeah.
We don't have anybody either, so I guess we just pick and choose our family and trying to make friends, but that's a whole nother episode. It's hard. I can't do it. I want to.
I know.
I want to be friendly.
We are friendly, but it's hard to train a new one. All right, who do you think had the most children ever?
Obviously not Octomom.
Nope, it's not Octomom.
There's a special about her that's different.
Yeah, that's crazy. She had 14 children total.
I don't know.
You want to guess? You don't even want to guess at that one?
Like, am I guessing a number?
A number of children.
19.
From one person.
19.
67.
No,
69.
She had 69 children.
Yes, and
out of her twat.
Okay. This goes back to the 1700s, but it was all documented by a monastery, and they did their due diligence, and she is actually in the Guinness World Record book. And it said that she had 16 pairs of twins. So there was something genetically going on. 7 sets of triplets and 4 quadruplets. 69 children total, 67 survived infancy. They made it through that first year. And to top this off, the dad, Theodore, he had another 18 children with his second wife. So he had a total of 87 children.
Shut up.
That's what they said. Talk about overpopulating the planet.
I know. Well, he needs to rub her up.
Yeah, they probably didn't have that then. No birth control. Nothing. That's all. They had no TV to watch, so that's all they were doing.
My birth control be like, don't touch me.
I know. It says she had 27 pregnancies. Can you imagine?
No, that's like 27 years of your life pregnant.
27 pregnancies.
No.
Can you imagine how tore up that woman was?
Mm-mm.
I know. I know, and to top that off, think of all those babies at one time. That would drive me crazy. And one of the facts when I was looking things up, it says that new moms get an average of 4 to 6 hours of broken sleep a night. And you remember the day.
Yeah.
It's like, here they go again. The minute you start to doze off, you hear that, and then it tears into it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, damn, I got to get up again. It's like, I love you, but damn.
I know. And then I remember like being so paranoid, waking up every few minutes thinking they were going to stop breathing. But they woke me up enough to believe they were still breathing. But then that night, it just happened. And they sleep the night through. That wake up moment of fear. Oh my God, they died.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a real feeling of, oh my God, I slept all night. They're dead.
Oh, yeah.
They drove
because they do. Babies do pass away, in their sleep, and it's sad.
And it's awful. And I can't
worry.
imagine. But that was just a fear until, I don't know, they bumped their head one too many times and lived through it. And I'm like, oh, they got this.
Did you let your baby sleep on their stomach or the back?
I remember it being like a thing. I think we were starting to do side sleeping.
Prop them, roll a little receiving blanket up
underneath them. And they had to do side sleeping so that if they throw up, then they could.
Yeah, that was the fear then. You put them on their back in case they throw up and choke on it. Camille was a stomach sleeper. She always kind of ended up on her stomach, and that's where she wanted to be and slept the best. Curry was a thrasher. So there was it's like pretty quick. I don't remember any morning she was in a different position.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was no rhyme or reason to it. She was a thrasher.
Both of my kids were good sleepers. Both of them, I could go in and change the sheets on their cribs while they were sleeping.
God.
I would go in and change their sheets while they were asleep and put the fresh ones back on so that chore was done when they woke up.
Yeah.
But they were such good sleepers. But somewhere along the way, I don't know where, I read something. Not to be quiet for them. All the noises they're used to hearing in the womb, even though they're muffled, do it every day.
Right.
So if you vacuum every day, vacuum. I could vacuum under their crib, and now they're both great sleepers.
Camille was one I could vacuum around the house and stuff. Once she started sleeping through the night, it was pretty safe. Curry was my screamer. I love her to pieces, but I swear she screamed for 9 months straight. It was pure torture. I don't know what her deal was. Curry? Jesus. My dad would come over and hold her and walk her in front of the sliding glass door because for some reason she liked to look out there, and he lived in the same neighborhood, so it was easy for him to come over and he would just hold her so I could go take a shower. That's how bad it was. It was awful. Awful. But we survived it. Now she's my baby. She's the one that ate fried green tomatoes with me.
We did it.
32 years old now.
I don't know. We did it. Kudos to all the moms.
I know. You had big babies too, didn't you?
Oh, Yes, they were, Tyler was 9'11", and Scotty was 10'11".
I was 10'3". I was right in the middle of it.
Yeah, Scotty always teases me, Mom, I have to say the baby because if you have another one, it's going to be 11'11". Imagine that. You know, the babies are the babies. Tyler and Scott changed my life forever for the
Yeah,
better.
they did. So you should get a happy Mother's Day.
And kind of, I feel like being a young mom, I know you feel this way, you kind of grew up with them.
I did, and I felt like I was able to do a lot with them. I don't know, like if I had been an older mom, maybe the energy wouldn't have, escaped me early on. But I feel that I don't have the energy now that I did then, which I don't. And I felt like I was the one riding roller coasters with them, and we did stuff all the time. And I had this energy to put into them being young. And I don't think I could have done that at 35, 40.
Yeah, I remember riding elephants, with Tyler and Scott and going places that were hot and theme parks. And I don't want to do that now.
No, we did it.
If somebody rode an elephant up to the front door and said, just hop on, we'll go for a ride, I'd be like, no, I wouldn't do that. But I did that for these kids back in the day.
We did a lot for those kids. Yes, I was a Girl Scout mom. Do you know how many camping trips I went on? If you told me we're going camping now, I don't even want to be outside for 10 minutes. I don't want to do it.
Oh, I don't either. I mean, it's just...
It's hot out there.
Well, I think it's like God gives us motherhood when we're younger.
Well, I was going to say, the motherhood thing, it's like it's part of our lives that have changed now to menopausal. So somehow we got hotter. Maybe the earth is hurling closer to the sun. I don't know, but it's hotter now. Doesn't it feel hotter than it did 20 years ago?
Oh my gosh, yes. If I had a little one right now and I'd take it to an amusement park.
Oh, I'd die.
I know. Even today, it's 74 outside? No way, Jose.
Is it really?
I don't know.
It felt like 80
70s.
something. The other day at work, some of the older people, they're like, I'm cold. I'm like, it's 110 in here.
Mm-hmm. Sit down.
Yeah.
Put a sweater on, Margaret.
I know, go get a jacket. Guess what the heaviest baby was recorded?
13, 14.
22 pounds.
Shut up.
And was 28 inches long, and the poor thing passed away after 11 hours. These are things you can search on the internet. There's tons of babies that are 13 and 14 pounds. Fairly recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're making them bigger now.
Well, I think it's because all the processed stuff
But I love a big baby. You should see the pictures of them. I know. Get that meat.
I know.
I love I hate scrawny babies.
Well, you don't hate them.
I don't hate them. I look at them and say,
Yeah, it's uncomfortable to hold a scrawny baby. I'm used to chunky.
I know. I like a big one.
Yeah. I mean, Scotty was so big, we had bought newborn Pampers, and he couldn't wear the diapers. We had bought newborn clothes, and he couldn't wear.
Aww.
He'd sized out
pretty quick. Well, my mom said I came home like on solid food. I mean, it was like cereal in the formula. I think was what it was. It wasn't like me chawing down on a turkey leg.
Yeah.
That came a month later.
Yeah, I did that with Tyler, but with Scotty, they were like, he doesn't need that.
Did he come home hungry?
He came home hungry.
Yeah.
And I was like, he didn't need it. They said not to do it, but I ended up doing it.
Were you breastfeeding?
No, neither one of my kids would latch. I don't know.
I felt like too much liquid did something to their stomach, when they needed the food. By the time they hit that certain weight first to thicken it.
Me too. You had to clip the nipples.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to put a cross on the nipple so they could suck cereal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that. My nanny taught me that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was up every few hours and I was just exhausted.
Yeah, and mine were looking for food.
Yeah, they need to eat. You need to give them cereal. And I was like, no, you can't do that. It's too soon, reading the books and the manuals.
What do those doctors know?
No, all that stuff. I know. My name's like, I have 5 kids and help raise you. By God, we're going to give him. Because she would just look at me and just, oh my God, honey. I have 5 kids and you look wore out. But,
I was wore out.
Yeah. Tyler was the most exhausting thing that ever happened to me. And it's crazy because you're so exhausted, but you're so in love.
I know.
That baby I feel like it's another thing God gives you, to be so in love with your baby as a mother, just like, you just want to huff it. And you can't imagine.
You do. You want to melt into them.
Yeah, you can't imagine it ever being out of your life.
I think the best moment I had, well, of course, Camille being the first baby, it was my first experience with this. She was 2 months old, and she was sitting on my thighs, that first smile. The first smile, I remember getting butterflies in my stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And I was young. I just thought it was the most amazing thing.
Yeah.
She was a neat baby.
Yeah, my baby can smile.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Tyler, you know how most babies, they do their little hand flaps and they say, hold me. He said, I want to hold you.
Aw.
I know. So you were never too busy. I mean, I want to hold you is how he would say it. I don't know how he learned that.
Oh, Tyler.
I know. I was 17 years old. I didn't know what to do with a baby. And you know how you build all these things up. That's not how I pictured it.
I know. Oh, I know.
This is not the picture. So I think you get that baby smile. You get that baby love. You stare at your baby forever. And even now I catch myself looking at them and how they behave and how they act. And
I do too.
then I try not to. It's like, oh, they're adults. I shouldn't be doing this.
I couldn't help it. When I went to Juliet, that we talked about on the Fried Green Tomatoes episode, when I went to see Curry, I had a box of memorabilia from her plays and concerts, and I took this walk down memory lane with her, kind of going through everything, and
So
just
amazing.
looked at her and can't believe she's 32. And Camila's 38, about to turn 39, and I think it hit me that next year, calendar year, I will have a 40-year-old. How in the hell do I have a 40-year-old?
I don't know.
I look like a baby. I look younger than she
That
does.
sounds like your problem.
I just can't believe it. I
know, I can't either. But cheers to Mother's Day.
Yes, cheers to Mother's Day and all the mothers out there.
And
And
have the war stories and the horror stories
know.
and that mostly ultimately ends up being the happiest stories.
they are the funniest.
And the fun, yeah.
I know. And somehow a lot of people, whether they're mad at them or not, like my old mom, it's one of those things where you get protective of them.
Mm-hmm.
Good or bad, you get protective. And, back in the 80s, it was like, your mama. It's like, don't talk about my mama.
No, I know, I'll cut you. No, I can say whatever I want about my mom, but you can't. You can't.
That's right. That's right.
For sure. God bless the mamas.
You had a
Without
pretty
them-
mom. You had one of them.
Today's-
Stacy's mom. Did people sing Stacy's mom to you all the time?
I was older when it came out. She's always been pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny because I always felt like her being so pretty, it helped me with jealousy. It was like, how can I be jealous of other people my age who are pretty when I have the prettiest person in the world?
Yeah.
Was her to me.
Mm-hmm. Were you ever jealous of your mom?
I think probably when the boys started paying more attention to her than they did to me. She's young. She's a young mom, and she's so pretty. And she wasn't interested in a 13-year-old boy. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
But yeah, I think that, there for a while, until I got my boobs, they want to come see her.
Did she pray around the house in bikini? Lay out in the yard?
No, no.
None of that?
No, she didn't provoke any of that. She wasn't, like, hey, look at me. None of that. She's never been that way.
Right.
Which I think makes her prettier.
Mm-hmm.
So she can't help it. She's pretty. She's still pretty.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she is.
So
You're going to have to wish her a happy birthday out there soon.
happy birthday. She's turning 70.
I know.
Gee whiz.
She doesn't look it.
No, she's still one of the prettiest people I know. But my nanny was pretty, and
Aw.
her mom was pretty. So I can't help that it just is falling down toward me a little bit of the, I know.
That's funny.
It is funny,
It is.
but it's
cute.
true. It's true. Moms are moms, and I would be remiss if I ended the show without mentioning my San. She's been in my life since I was 4 years old. One of the strongest people I know. Put up with more shit than I would have ever
Right.
to be my dad, and I love him more than life too. They're amazing. They're an amazing couple. I'm grateful for her. The first thing I ever remember about her, she picked me up one day from somewhere. I was 4 years old. Never forget, we're driving through Riverdale, Georgia. She drives a Volkswagen Bug. And
What color was it?
It was like a pale color, like a ivory or a yellow, like maybe a light blue. I don't know. It was a pale color, but I'll never forget. So we were driving through Riverdale, and her car breaks down. She pulls off to the side of the road. It's like, and I've never been in a situation like this in my whole life that I remembered.
Your whole 4 years.
My whole 4 years. And she said, I'll be right back. So she runs around the back of the car, and she comes back, and she cranks it up, and we get to my daddy. And I just thought,
She's amazing.
This one's my hero. From that moment on, she's been superwoman to me. Like, there's nothing you can throw at her that she can't handle.
Good for her.
She unconditionally loves us, me and my kids and my daddy. One of the calmest presence. You know what that means? Like, she has a peaceful presence. Well, you've been around her, you know.
Yeah, she's fun.
Everything is not the sky is falling. Everything is not the end of the world. It's going to be okay. This and this and this is happening, but it's going to be okay. I think that's a little bit where I get my it's going to be okay from.
That is so sweet.
We're going to survive. And if we can't, we'll call Santa. She'll figure it out for us.
Okay. Everybody needs a Santa.
I mean, don't you love a Santa?
Yes.
I mean, I have been blessed with the women in my life. All of them. My grandmothers.
I have partied with the Santa.
Yes. My grandmothers. Well, you partied with the mom.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother,
karaoke
my
days.
mama, all of the women in my life have been extraordinary. And so I'm very blessed.
My grandmother on my mother's side was my favorite person. I didn't get to know my dad's parents. That's another drawback of having older parents. You really don't get a lot of time with your grandparents. And my grandmother was 40 when she had my mother. So I grew up with, she was in her 80s, but she was a very fun person. And she was one of those who never got deep wrinkles. She swore by oil of Olay. Okay. And my mother was very quiet, and their blood, mother and daughter. And I can remember my Aunt Marie saying to my grandmother, I just walked in on them and I heard the conversation. She was saying, Janet, who was my mother, sure never got your personality, talking about, her mom. It's like my grandmother was so boisterous and fun, and, she walked into a room and it lit up, one of those people. Whereas mom, you didn't know she was in the room unless she went, She didn't speak unless spoken to, just always a very quiet person. Until the dementia really kicked in later, it was That was a different person, but
obviously
yeah,
you get your outrageous personality from your grandmother.
I think so, because when my mother worked, I would stay with them because they were retired, of course. So I was able to spend a lot of time at my grandparents' house, and I adored, both of them, my grandmother and grandfather, and they died a month apart from each other.
That's precious.
It is. It really is. I think he died of a broken heart. I really think that, they couldn't handle being apart.
That really is a thing.
It is a thing, and it's sad.
It is awful.
And I was 12 when I lost both of them, and that was hard.
Yeah.
That was hard. When I remember my mom taking me out of school for a little bit. I think it was in like 8th grade. And it was rough, but got through that too. You got to just keep going.
And then a few years later, you had Camille, so
Yeah.
you're good.
Camille, come on. You're here now. I know, but I was lucky. She was a good baby. Good baby.
Yeah, you were lucky.
I know.
Because both of us have said before, if we had that second one first, there'd be no second one.
I know. And Curry is such a special person. She was just a hard baby.
So is Scotty.
Just a hard baby.
Damn.
I know. And Christina, my bonus, she was 10 when I met her. So I feel like there's the easy one. No bottles, no diapers, nothing. Christina came shrink wrapped, ready made, perfect. And she was a good kid.
So
she was
smart,
a good kid.
so fun,
Yes.
so pretty.
Here she has grown up, got a good husband, doing her thing in college.
I'm so proud of all of them. And,
I know.
I know Jeff helped raise Kelly, and she's doing amazing. These kids are we're so lucky.
I know. And it's funny now to look at Camille being a mom. And Christina has kids. Christina married into some kids too, so she gets to know what it's like.
Yeah.
I know.
Fun times.
It is. It really is. I always look at the pictures she posts, and we text all the time and call each other. I know. We need another trip.
Let's go.
They need to come on.
Pack a bag.
I know.
They coming up here, we going down there.
Either way, I'm going to go see those jokers on Christmas.
The road travels both ways. So.
It sure does. And now that Lily's driving, she could bring her ass up here.
They're always invited. All right. Well, should we wrap up our Mother's Day?
I guess so. We want to wish everyone out there a happy Mother's Day, whether you're a mother, a father, an aunt, a grandma, however you came into the role.
God bless you. God bless us all.
Oh, God.
Can I say, may the Lord help us?
You do whatever you need to do. You do it.
Yeah. So all the special women, people in our lives who have helped anything to do with a child.
Right.
I mean, just, it's extra special.
It is special, and don't miss it. Stay checked in.
Please, put your phones down, moms. Check in once in a while.
I know.
I know. Eye to eye contact.
They're only babies for a little while.
It only takes a minute. It's just, I mean, we were going through it. It felt like, oh my God, will this week ever end? Sometimes it felt like, will this hour get over? Will this day end?
I know.
But now that it's gone,
it's hard to believe how my days were so chaotic.
I know what you wouldn't give to live one of those days.
I would do it again.
In a minute, I know.
All the Girl Scout meetings, dance classes, tap and ballet, and the kids club, and everything that they were in, and the school swimming and bowling, and I don't know how I did it, but I'm here. I don't want to do it anymore.
No. No, we're living the glory days of motherhood.
I know.
Oh, glory days.
We got our empty nest thing going on.
And we're rocking it.
Although sometimes you're like a big kid.
Well... You're like a bigger baby.
No.
I know.
I know.
I am a little spoiled rotten sometimes. I do whine a lot.
Yeah. And on that, I guess we'll say, let's whine.
Let's whine. I think that's why we call that show, Let's Whine.
Because we do whine a lot.
We whine a lot. We're both whiners.
And we're both mothers.
We're both mothers. But we did pretty good at that.
Yeah, we did.
Hey, kudos. Good job.
Hey, cheers.
I know. Good job. We did it.
All right. Well, happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
We will be back with another episode on myths. Things that you were told by possibly your mother that turned out not to be true. So was your mother a big fat liar or not?
Most of them were, according to our research. But if you have one you want to share with us, you can always email us at
bsstudios@myyahoo.com.
Reach out on all the platforms. We're here for it. We want to hear what your myths are. Maybe you have some different ones than we remember. And we'd love to hear it here on Let's Whine with Brenda and Stacy.
Bye.